Night falls differently in some places. In the canyons of Malibu, California, the darkness can feel absolute. It is a heavy, almost physical presence. The winding roads become ribbons of black asphalt. On September 16, 2009, this particular darkness was about to swallow someone whole. But something was not right. A sense of unease was settling over the landscape, quiet and unnoticed. It was the kind of night where a small mistake could have massive consequences. A wrong turn, a missed call, a decision made in a moment of confusion. The story begins at a restaurant. It is a place called Geoffrey's. Perched on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the atmosphere is usually one of romance and quiet luxury. But on this night, the mood was broken. A young woman, Mitrice Richardson, was acting strangely. She was brilliant, a graduate of Cal State Fullerton with a degree in psychology. She was beautiful, with a smile that could light up a room. Friends and family knew her as vibrant and full of life. But tonight, she was not herself. She was talking to strangers. Her conversation was disjointed and bizarre. The staff at Geoffrey's grew concerned. Mitrice had been there for hours. She had ordered a steak and a drink. When it came time to pay the $89 bill, she could not. She said she was from Mars. She spoke in a language no one understood. The restaurant manager did not know what to do. Was she on drugs? Was she having a mental health crisis? They decided to call the authorities. It was a choice made out of concern and perhaps a little bit of frustration. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department was dispatched. 2 deputies arrived to find a situation that was confusing and delicate. The deputies spoke with Mitrice. They tried to understand what was happening. Her mother was called. She offered to pay the bill immediately over the phone. She begged them to keep Mitrice in a safe place until she could get there. The restaurant agreed to drop the charges if her mother paid. But the deputies made a different decision. They decided to take her into custody. It was a choice that would set in motion a tragedy. The deputies placed Mitrice Richardson in the back of their patrol car. They drove her away from the lights of the restaurant. They headed toward the Malibu Lost Hills Sheriff's Station, located in a remote area, surrounded by the rugged Santa Monica Mountains. Once inside, the process of booking began. Her fingerprints were taken. A mugshot was snapped. Her personal belongings were cataloged and stored. Her car, with her purse and cell phone inside, was impounded. She was now officially in the system. According to the official records, everything was done by the book. Procedure was followed. They assessed her condition. They noted her unusual behavior. But they determined she was not a danger to herself or others. She did not meet the criteria for a psychiatric hold, they said. She was booked on 2 misdemeanor charges, defrauding an innkeeper and possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. These were minor offenses, the kind that usually result in a citation and a release. Procedure was followed. It is a shield. It is a defense. It is a wall of official language that stands between a family's questions and the department's actions. Mitrice was alone in a holding cell. Her family was frantic. They were told she would be held overnight. They believed she was safe. The core of this entire heartbreaking story rests on one single decision. After just a few hours in custody, the Sheriff's Department decided to release Mitrice Richardson. It was approximately 12:28 a.m. on September 17th. In the middle of the night, she had no money, she had no phone, she had no car. She was in a remote, unfamiliar area, surrounded by dark, winding roads and rugged, coyote-filled canyons. Why was she released? The official explanation is simple. The jail was overcrowded. Her charges were minor. And most importantly, procedure was followed. There was no legal obligation to hold her until morning. There was no requirement to ensure she had a safe way to get home. The procedure did not account for common sense. It did not account for the vulnerability of a person exhibiting clear signs of distress. Imagine the moment. A deputy opens the cell door. Mitrice is told she is free to go. Her personal items are returned to her, minus the purse and phone locked in her impounded car. The heavy door of the station closes behind her. She is standing alone in the parking lot. In every direction, there is nothing but darkness. Was she scared? Was she confused? We will never know. It all leads back to this one point in time. 12:28 a.m. The moment the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department opened a door and let a vulnerable young woman walk out into the night. The last confirmed sighting of Mitrice by any law enforcement personnel was this moment. A deputy watched her walk out of the station and turn right, heading toward the street. She was a solitary figure, before being swallowed by the surrounding darkness. The deputy turned away. The door was closed. The official duty of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department was complete. She had been released. And then, she vanished. The silence was broken around 1:30 a.m. A resident of Cold Canyon Road saw a slender African-American woman in his backyard. The man called the non-emergency line for the sheriff's department to report a prowler. After a few minutes, the woman got up and walked away, disappearing back into the darkness. The opportunity to find her, to help her, was missed. Pre-dawn, around 6:30 a.m., the final confirmed sighting. A man looked out the window of his home and saw a young black woman sitting on his porch. He later said she looked like a zombie. She was not moving, just staring blankly ahead. He was concerned and called the sheriff's department. While on the phone with the dispatcher, she stood and walked down his long, steep driveway. He saw her walk away, then she was gone. Deputies arrived sometime later. Mitrice nowhere to be found. This was the last known sighting of her alive. The timeline ends here, leaving only questions and a vast, terrifying silence. Her family's frantic search began in earnest. Mitrice arrived at the Malibu Lost Hill station and found her worst fears were realized. The family plastered the area with missing person flyers. The official search began, involving search and rescue teams, canine units, and helicopters. Despite massive efforts, the search yielded nothing. It was as if Mitrice had been erased from the landscape. The canyons kept their secret for almost a year. Then, in August 2010, partial skeletal remains were discovered in a remote, almost inaccessible ravine in Dark Canyon. The condition of her remains made it impossible for the coroner to determine an official cause of death. Years have passed. The media attention has faded, but for her family, there is only an enduring, night-driven silence. It is the silence from the sheriff's department, which has never wavered from its position that procedure was followed. The quiet, intimate nature of this failure is what makes it so deeply unsettling. It is a quiet timeline that feels fundamentally wrong. The procedure was followed, but Mitrice Richardson was lost. The night that swallowed Mitrice Richardson has never truly ended.